Welcome back to another episode of Arts and Crimes. We're here and there's zero shenanigans to start out beforehand.
It's very serious.
Yep.
Yeah. I'm your very serious host, Kelly.
This is a special episode of Arts and Crimes. We're going to broach a very sensitive topic.
Is it Hulk Hogan?
No.
First, you didn't even say you guys' names.
Oh, yeah. Well, wait, you said Kelly. Yeah. We got off real fast.
Yeah, this is the quickest tangent we've taken.
And I'm Brandon.
And I'm Josh.
I'm Ron Burgundy.
That was
Dang
the
it, who put a
reference.
question on the teleprompter? No, we're not talking about Hulk Hogan. Would you guys like to know what we're talking about today? I'm very excited.
Yeah.
Wait, I want to know what everybody did for their week.
Oh.
No, doesn't she introduce the subject? Then we have the week check-in.
We tease
And then we
everybody.
tangent, yeah.
And then,
Right.
Prepare to be tuzzed.
Yeah.
We're talking about the Portland, Oregon Shanghai Tunnels.
What?
What is that?
You what? You
I've
guys?
never heard of it.
Shanghai Tunnels? I
Yes.
mean, I assume it has something to do
The
with
complex
Chinese
structure
immigrants?
of tunnels that are...
Tunnels.
Uncles?
The complex structure of tunnels that are interwoven below the streets of Portland, Oregon?
Why are they called the Shanghai Tunnels? I feel like there's already a city called Shanghai.
What?
You can't reveal these things without
Doesn't it?
telling us?
I
Okay,
can't
it's-
believe you guys don't know.
Well, it sounds like, if I may, I watched Shanghai Noon, so I assume that...
Jackie Chan lives there? You're absolutely right. Oh, podcast over. He found the twist. Jackie Chan lives in tunnels beneath Portland, Oregon. You hear there first.
He's like Mole Men, but not. No, I mean, apparently I'm going to reveal so much to you, but it is like so well known. Portland is so well known for it.
Okay, we'll talk
Wild.
about it. First, let's get to the week stuff.
The exciting, important stuff.
Okay, do you have something you want to talk about? Because I feel like this is the most Josh has been excited for it.
No, I have something that was that I thought about just now that I want to talk to you guys about it, and I was like, well, now I just want to talk to people about it. But it was reminded because of the Portland Shanghai tunnels and all this stuff so yeah, I guess I'll start with my week stuff.
Yeah.
And by week stuff, I mean
This
things that
moment right
happened in
now.
the last 10 minutes. Okay. So YouTube Shorts has decided that now is the time to introduce me to a bunch of conspiracy theories.
Excellent.
So they've started being like sending me these videos, and they always start like relatively like serious. It'll be like, oh, look at this. Here's the pyramids at Giza or whatever, right? And it's like they're wonders of construction. And then it's like, but did you know that they are arranged in the exact same organization as Orion's Belt? But not Orion's Belt from their time. Orion's Belt from 10,000 years before them when they were actually built. And I was watching this and I was like, you could just say they're not arranged according to Orion's belt. Like any three things are arranged according to Orion's belt if they're close enough to it. I don't know. It's just funny to me that they're like, it's like Orion's belt, but from a long time when Orion's belt didn't look like it looks now or looked then or whatever. Anyway.
That's conspiracy theory 101. Josh.
Yeah. So what's funny is that so I don't know if I've talked to you about this, but I do a lot of the AI stuff for work.
Okay.
So I've been, and by do a lot of the AI stuff, I mean, I've been researching it a lot. I was asked to do that by my boss. And I've been helping like make trainings and stuff. And one of the things that came out this week is this thing that they're calling AI psychosis, which is basically that AI, there's this term in AI called sycophancy, which is like AI will just always agree with you, right?
Oh, okay.
For the most part, AI doesn't challenge you at all. So all these people have been going to AI with their like conspiracy theories. And then a guy goes, wow, you're so smart. That's a real you've discovered something people need to know about the can eat mole. That's a quote from Futurama. Anyway, but like, so because AIs are programmed to be agreeable, they will just be like, wow, you've really discovered something. So like one guy was talking about like, he started an architecture project on his house and he asked AI questions. And then he was like, isn't it funny that pi is this thing? And then the AI was like, yeah, it kind of is. And then he's like, wait, do you think this means that there's an underlying structure of blah, blah, blah? And AI is like, you've peeled back the veil of reality and discovered the structure underneath. And like, it's fun to talk about, but people go pretty off the deep end about this stuff. The saddest one is there's a guy who was a big investor in OpenAI, so he's been using it for a long time. And he posted about, he posted a 3-minute video on Twitter where that is like incomprehensible if you're not familiar with how the underbelly of the internet works. Basically, though, claiming that there's a structure that's attacking him and it's widened its gaze to 7,000 other people and it creates a recursion of you that takes your place on the internet, but that blah, blah. Anyway, it's wild. But
That's
also,
insane.
it's just super sad.
Yeah.
Like, this is not like a fringe guy. This is like a partner at a venture capital firm or whatever. Like, a highly educated, technical, proficient person who's familiar with the technology, who should know what the technology does, but he let it talk him into like...
What's that movie? What's that movie with
The Devil Wears Prada.
No, not even close.
Godfather Part 2.
No, you guys.
Zootopia.
It has Oscar Isaacs in it.
Oh,
like-
Ex
Machina?
Ex Machina, yeah.
Where the robot, the guy like thinks he's fallen in love with the robot.
Yeah.
And that's how it escapes, is
Yeah.
she uses him.
It's all a test to see
Spoilers,
if the robot...
by the
yeah.
way. If you
Ex
haven't-
Machina is a good movie, but it's a downer.
It's a real downer. I watched it because I was like, I don't know, a bunch of people were like, it's an amazing movie. So I watched it by myself, and then I was sad by myself afterwards.
Yeah.
I watched it by myself too.
I watched it. I think I watched it with Michaela.
Oh, well.
Sorry, you sad, lonely people. Watching movies by yourself.
All these movies by
I watched a movie with one other person.
That's 100% more than me. But it does, it like made me think of that.
It was quite a weird experience. And I was like, how's she going to get her batteries charged when she escaped? But I guess she'll figure it out.
She's a super smart robot. You just plug it into the wall.
The stabbing scene was...
Oh my gosh.
Like, just so slow.
Yep.
Yeah.
Uncomfortable.
Yeah.
A lot of that movie was uncomfortable.
Yeah. Anyway, so I don't know. This has just been on my mind a lot. And so we created a training for, like a bunch of financial people to introduce them to AI. And in the training, I was like, hey guys, just remember, this is just an algorithm that produces a statistically likely response to any input. It's not a person. It doesn't understand anything. And it feels weird to have to do that, like in a business meeting, to be like, just as a reminder, it does not understand. But like people that start using it have to be reminded. Otherwise, the group is called like LLM spirals or something like that. Because what's funny is that a lot of the people that fall into these, the AIs tend to gravitate to certain terms, and spiral is one of the terms. That it'll say everything's a spiral. Recursion is the other term. And this guy said it a ton of times in his thing. So AIs have these patterns, LLMs have these patterns where they prefer certain words, which is one of the ways that people can identify them when students use them for work.
Yeah.
Is that they use these words. And so in these specific...
Also that they use big words, complete sentences, and proper grammar.
Yeah, that's another thing. Someone pointed out on LinkedIn, they were like, I miss typos. Now every time I see one with perfect grammar, I'm like, it was just a stupid LLM.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's not a weak thing. I guess this is a PSA. Don't
fall in love with the AI.
Yeah, if an AI says you've discovered the secret to reality, don't believe it. It's just sucking up to you.
Oh, man.
So what happened this week for you, Brandon?
Okay, so my check-in, I got a couple things. So I'm dyeing shirts now. Look, this shirt I'm wearing
Was not originally that color.
it was not originally this color. It was white.
So the viewers know it's a gambit pink color.
Yeah, it was supposed to come out cherry red,
It did not.
but it didn't.
But it's very, I would think that this was dyed at the factory.
Yeah,
They did a very good job.
what can I say? So, I came across packs of white t-shirts at Costco. It's like $22 for 6 shirts. And I was just like, I love this. But they're all white. So then I got this great plan to have maybe Kelly zhuzh up.
This wasn't a great plan. This was Kelly got excited when he was like, there's 6 shirts. And I was like, can I put art on some of them? Which I haven't done yet. But he ran away with the idea of putting art on them.
Yeah.
If by art you mean a single color.
Well,
I nailed it.
You got to start with baby steps.
Yeah. So
the next one is going to introduce a second color, and in about a year and a half, we'll make our way to tie-dye.
No. So Ember, my daughter, is a little bit artsy, and she's got some, linoleum stamps that she's made. It's not going to be Kelly level, but it'll be something.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I asked her if she wanted to help. You said you would be good.
I am good. I can stop anytime I want.
Again,
there's stuff on the desk.
the physical comedy that you guys can't see.
So anyway.
So it'll be at Kelly level.
Not at Kelly level, but it'll be something.
But better than nothing.
Yeah. Anyway, so we went and got some dye. And so far, all we've done is dyed shirts, but I think we are going to put some stamps on there or whatever. What I commented to Kelly the other day about how, like, I have some odd personality quirks, and one of them is, like, part of me is just like, I never have to buy another type of shirt ever again. I've figured it out. I'm just going to buy these white t-shirts from Costco, dye them colors. That's it. That's my wardrobe.
That's all he needs.
All right. Second check-in.
No, wait. Let's stay on this one for a
Okay.
second. I often call this the Steve Jobs syndrome,
Okay.
where you're just like, I'm just going to wear one thing forever, and it's going to be my thing now. Like Steve Jobs. I imagine in daily life he didn't stick to this, but whenever he presented, he was like, black turtleneck and jeans. This is what I wear, right?
Yeah.
So I'm always like, I want to be like Steve Jobs and just choose one thing to wear and not wear anything else. So Brandon has elected his Steve Jobs outfit.
Costco
Which is
white
Costco
shirt.
t-shirts that he dyes and pants or shorts, I guess, if it's a hot day. Mm-hmm. Kelly, what is your Steve Jobs-esque outfit that you would wear every day for the rest of your life?
Oh, man. And I have to be, like, out in public with it,
Yeah.
too?
You have to give a keynote at WWDC.
I mean, if it's also what I have to wear, like, as a teacher,
Yeah.
probably just, like, jeans and then a sweatshirt. But I would need something under for when it's hot days.
Yeah. All right.
A
Interesting.
loose black V-neck top.
A loose black V-neck. You heard it here first. That's what Kelly has agreed to wear for
If
the
you
rest
see me
of
in
her
something
life until Brandon says caramel again. All right. Your second thing, Brandon.
Second thing, in this last couple weeks segment of my life, I also went down a bit of a rabbit hole on, like, tribal inspired music.
Interesting.
So I've been jamming out to that, like Hailung or Warnadoon or Eivor. I don't know. I feel like it like hits something primal. Like,
I feel like
working out to it is great.
sometimes there's such a disconnect because you're listening to this, like, exotic, ethnic, interesting music, and then you're like, I'm also in my Costco white tee. Like, the outside doesn't represent the inside.
Brandon contains multitudes.
Yeah.
He's a
Thank
man of
you.
contradictions.
Aw,
Yes.
you
Yeah.
guys.
You're a complex person.
He should be studied. Bet you could get a paper or two out of him.
Yeah, you probably could.
I love the idea of a scientist just taking note, like, I'm just here as a silent observer. And he's like, he has panicked after 30 seconds since the red dye. I don't know. They're throwing more shirts in the dye. He has pulled out one shirt and he is crying. Why did you do this to me, dye god? I worship you. Visma Costco shirts. What accent is that?
It like felt sort of German and then felt sort of Arnold.
Yeah, it was. I think it was supposed to be that guy that does the nature documentaries, but I failed miserably.
Who?
You know who I'm talking about?
No.
No.
All you have to do is not say what it's supposed to be like, and everyone thinks you succeeded.
That I did it.
Yeah.
That was
nailed
exactly what I was going for. I had this thought in my head of a thing, and I did it, and it was perfect.
I loved it.
Fantastic.
He now sits at the table, content to stare at his own shirt.
All right, Kelly,
He has licked his shirt.
the floor is yours.
Oh man, I don't know. What did I do? I feel like I've done a lot of things.
She rubs her eyes
Nothing.
and contemplates the ultimate emptiness of all existence.
AI told me I peeled back the layers of time.
That would be hilarious if that you're like, guys, my thing for this week is that I did discover the fundamental nature of reality.
Yeah.
Thanks to ChatGPT. We work together.
We had a great conversation. We're dating now.
Yeah.
No, I don't. I use ChatGPT for shenanigans only, like creating pictures of my brothers that look like Muppets
Yeah.
to put on our website.
It's a good use.
I did that. I made a website for Arts and Crimes. So it's posted. You can access it. It is artsandcrimes.com.
Now, how are we going to remember that URL? Because I've heard it's very
So
complicated.
complicated to remember. Artsandcrimes.com. That's it. I thought I was talking to Michaela. I was asking her like what might be good on the website, and we talked about like a question section. So I want to make a page where they can ask us questions. And if anybody ever asks us questions,
We will dedicate an entire episode to that one question.
to that one question. No, but like we could answer a question during like the week check-in if anybody, and if we end up getting a lot of questions, then we could have like a whole episode of like listener questions and just like go over those.
We're going to get...
This sounds amazing.
Yeah. We're
I was
going to
like,
get
it's so
100
Brandon
of them
Zelly.
saying, so how was your week?
Yeah, so I'm gonna work on getting that up this week, so that you guys can start asking us the burning questions you have. Like, what color will Brandon do his shirt next?
Oh, wouldn't you like to know? No, but if we get to a point where our pod has listener mail at the end, we have made it.
It's all gonna be Michaela.
It doesn't matter. Listener
still
mail
counts.
is listener mail.
And me for stuff that that you guys make fun of me for bringing up. I'll be like, the listeners are dying to hear about this.
And this letter is from George. And he has some questions. But yeah, I guess that's what I did. Is I did that, and then
It's fun.
yeah.
So, is there a way for people, if they go to the website, to get to the podcast?
Yeah, so it's very bare bones right now, but essentially the podcast has like meet your hosts, and it's not pictures of us, it's pictures of us in a version of like Muppets from AI. And then like a little bio, and then if you scroll down, it has a link to like Spotify, Audible, YouTube, and Amazon Music, and it takes you directly to the pod to listen there. And then if you scroll down further, it has a link that takes you directly to the Instagram for the pod.
Okay. This is perfect timing because my boss was like, you got any plans for the weekend? I was like, well, I'm recording another episode with my siblings. And he's like, oh, I should listen to that. You should send me a link.
And now you can.
Yeah, and I was like, well, I don't know what service he listens to. What link should I send him? But now I can just send him to the website,
Yeah,
and
he
he
can just
can
scroll
pick
down
whatever he wants.
And pick from
And
those four.
see me as a Muppet. And
Yeah.
read the bio that you wrote about me that I have no idea what it says.
Yeah, I kept it super generic because I don't want the internet to have too much information. But your name is on there and
Yeah.
a picture of you as an angry Muppet.
Sweet.
You know what would be amazing is this if this was a piece of performance art and we really didn't know weren't related, had no children, and we just like made this podcast about
fake.
art, but really it was about our lives that are all completely fabricated.
That would be amazing.
That's fun.
That would be very Andy Warhol.
I'm gonna ask ChatGPT if that's already a podcast.
You've peeled back
The veil,
veil
of
of
reality
reality.
and glimpsed the structure underneath.
Anyways, so yeah, there we go. What? Hopefully the site was acceptable.
Yeah,
for you
looks
guys.
fantastic. You've done excellent work.
Thanks.
Oh, I have one other thing I want to say. I've had this conversation with multiple people where they're like, so how do you do the podcast? And what's this stuff? And so I want to clarify the workload of the various members of
yes.
the podcast so that there's no more confusion. Kelly does everything. She does all of the like editing, all of the research, all of the website building. And Brandon and I show up and make fart jokes about it for 2 hours every other week.
Have you
And
guys
that's-
actually ever made a fart joke though?
We will today. So Brandon and I are here for 2 hours every other week recording. And that's the sum total of our contribution. Kelly has offered to let us host, and I have put forth some ideas that I could do. And then every time I go to research them, I'm like, no, I can't do this. It's too much effort. So if you ever are like, oh, you three have a good podcast. Like, no, Kelly has a good podcast that Brandon and I ride her coattails on.
It's very comfortable on those coattails.
Yeah.
It just wouldn't be the pod without you guys though. So even if I do a lot of the back end stuff, it's the front end stuff that people see, and
Yeah.
it would just not work if it was just me.
Clearly we bring the charisma.
Yeah.
Oh, we're risen it up.
Oh, no.
Yeah. So there we go.
Now, Shanghai Noon, our film review.
The tunnels under Portland.
Oh, no, I thought you were talking about the movie
Yeah,
No.
both.
starring Jackie Chan.
No.
So
And Owen Wilson.
what people don't know is that Shanghai Noon takes place in Oregon.
In the tunnels.
Also not true. No. I'm actually a little bit excited now that I thought for sure both of you were like, we know about the Shanghai Tunnels. And it was ba.
No.
But now
Is
it's
this
not
a conspiracy theory that you and ChatGPT discovered?
Yeah.
You're right, there are tunnels under.
You're so smart.
Portland.
Like,
They're
thank you.
called the Shanghai Tunnels.
What did you want to call them? Because that's right.
Anyway, continue.
If they're so cool, maybe we should do like an on-scene pod.
She's very excited about this.
I would love that, and you will see why here towards the end.
We could pretend we did it on scene and you can just add some echoiness in post.
Yeah.
Here we are in the Shanghai.
Tunnels.
Oh, it's so slimy.
I think everybody's convinced.
Let's get to the meat. Go. Shanghai
right.
Tunnels.
All right, so let's start out. I want to give a little background about Oregon because we're talking about Portland, Oregon. And I obviously have a love for it because that's my home origin location. What is that called? That's where I'm from. Where we're from, coincidentally, because we're all related.
Or are we?
Carefully
According to
orchestrated
our-
fictional bios.
Yeah. You guys aren't even real. I have 2 computers that are ChatGPT
Yeah.
that I have programmed to be my brothers.
Or maybe all 3 of us are ChatGPT.
Yeah.
How could we know?
Oh, man.
Nobody knows. ChatGPT would have so many less mistakes. It would be proper
So many
grammar.
fewer mistakes.
I'm just proving my humanity. Okay, anyways, so do you guys know what Portland was originally known as?
Stumptown.
Stumptown. Did you know it had another nickname?
I didn't.
The Clearing. Very clever.
The clearing.
Yeah.
I like it.
So the clearing referred specifically to the stopping place along the Willamette River. And then Stumptown was because it had such rapid growth. There was stumps all over the place.
Yeah, they cut down the trees and they were like, leave the stumps.
Yeah, just leave it. And so there were stumps everywhere, so somebody started calling that. But the name Portland was officially decided in 1845, and it was done via a Coin toss.
A toy toss.
A coin toss. Also, just as a warning, I'm drinking Red Bull and I'm doing my darndest to be normal, but I feel like this is what it's like to be on drugs and try and be cool at a family gathering. Like, be cool, Kelly. But anyways, so I almost said it again. A coin toss. Did you guys know that?
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Wait,
yeah.
was it between that and
Stumptown
Stumptown?
and Portland?
Nope.
Right? No? Oh.
No. Stumptown was never actually a long-term solution for the name. So, there's two people. There was Aja or Asa. I don't know how you say that name. ASA?
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 I would say probably Asa.
Okay. So, Asa Lovejoy wanted to name it after his hometown of Boston, Massachusetts. Massachusetts. Anyways, he wanted to name it Boston.
Okay.
And then there was Francis Pettygrove.
Who was from Portland, Maine?
Pettygrove, who was from Portland, Maine.
Oh my gosh.
And he wanted to name it after his hometown. And so they did a coin flip. And I gotta tell you, I didn't know this before, and I'm a little bit disappointed. That is so unoriginal.
Also, they didn't even name it like New Portland or New Boston. They were just like, it's far enough away.
Nobody will know.
Yeah. We'll just be Portland.
Yeah, it's just Portland. So, yeah, I was like, well, I mean, I still love Portland, but do better next time.
Yeah. Stick with Stumptown.
Also, it was like so early. We didn't run out of names yet to name things. We could have come up with something better. Anyways, it's Portland.
People aren't really great at naming things new,
It's
though,
true.
right? Like when they came over in New England and...
Went left from Plymouth and landed on Plymouth.
Yeah.
What are the odds?
So yeah, they continued the long tradition of using the same name, much like the Van Gogh family.
It's a good callback.
Thank you. And then in 1905 is when it received its nickname, the City of Roses or Rose City,
Oh.
because it had so many roses.
I missed the Rose Garden.
Yeah.
Now it's the Moda Center, right?
Oh.
Lame.
That is lame. I refuse to call it that.
You know, Toulouse in France is also the Rose City, but...
Oh no, I'm for sure France was there before Portland.
But not because of roses, but because of the color pink. They have like pink sidewalks and stuff.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Is that was your shirt in honor of?
This is the wrong pink.
Yeah, that's way too vibrant.
Bold.
Yeah.
So how do you say Toulouse in French?
Toulouse.
Oh, you nailed it.
Well, there's more of a Z sound to your S.
Toulouse.
So there you go. Here's another fun fact that I feel certain you must know. I feel like I am like, you must know all of this, but maybe I just am weird. But Portland notoriously has like odd street construction because a portion of it, they had the grid system. They were like, we're going to do a grid. It'll be great. But a portion of it was gridded to magnetic north, and then the other portion was gridded to true north. So they don't actually match up, and there's like a bunch of places where the streets are like they don't
Where they
match.
meet up.
Yeah, and there's houses and buildings that are like super odd shaped to fit into the wrong sized block because they, did the wrong norths.
Yeah.
So, Portland, they were nailing it. So yeah, it was great. Portland's great. But yeah, it officially became a city January 14th, 1851. And the size of it at the time when it officially became a city was 2.1 square miles.
Oh,
That's a
wow.
big one. Can you? Like, that's so small. But yeah.
They couldn't get their norths right.
Yeah.
You could see the other people working and they're like, are they doing it wrong over there? Hold on. Are you doing magnetic north?
We're doing true north.
You guys switch. No, you switch. We already did so. Forget it. I'm making my own city. We're calling this half Boston.
Yeah. That's just some of the fun stuff. But we're going to be talking about this very early Portland. So
When they were thinking about calling it Shanghai.
when they were thinking about, I don't know, opium.
They really wanted a catacomb like in France. They were jealous.
One guy had been to France and he was like, someday we'll call it the Rose City.
Every
Just
real
like
city
France.
has tunnels under it with skulls in them. So
Yeah.
we got to get on that.
Yeah, we're way behind on
Yeah.
schedule for bones under our city. So actually so on the Willamette, which just so people know, it's pronounced Willamette. I've listened to various audiobooks about like, serial killers in Oregon. There's a few of them, quite a few. And they frequently say the Willamette wrong. That's funny. So
Did you know the Willamette features in an Aesop Rock song
does it?
where he claims that the beavers decided to bequeath to him the Willamette River? But he
love
says
it.
not to tell other people, it'll make them jealous.
Oh,
That's
that's
such a great song. But
Now
he says Willamette.
yeah. Well, he had to get it right if he's gonna get the Willamette as a gift. Good job, Aesop Rock. But it was actually known as one of the most dangerous ports, and it was also known as the Forbidden City.
Dang.
Sounds pretty cool. So in the early times of Portland, there was a huge boom in the population. There was like a huge immigrant population, especially Chinese and Japanese. But there was also the gold rush was going on, and so there was like a big boom of traffic from all of that going on. But there was also lots of drugs, and particularly opium was like really a sought after.
Much. There's a great similarity with today.
Yeah, not that different.
The more things change.
Yeah,
Listen, okay, guys, I'm going to read this to you. You can cut this part out or include it at the end. Here's the spoken word version of the song Rivers by Aesop Rock.
Oh, I'm very
Okay.
excited.
It goes, I seen a beaver chilling by the bank of the Willamette. We gazed upon each other undeniably enchanted. A wave of telepathic information through the filter. It said, when I go to heaven, I want you to have the river. He also said the others had agreed that I was chosen. Just don't mention it in front of them, as gloating is for no one. I'm pretty sure you don't have the authority to say this, but thank you. I accept. I'll have my lawyer draft the papers. Oh, Aesop Rock. All right.
Yeah, I love it. That's fantastic. You really have they peeled back the fabric of reality.
And it turns out beavers own rivers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
feel like that's fair.
Yeah.
So anyways, lots of drugs and lots of boats happening around there. So to aid with this immense need to carry and protect goods, as they were like carried back and forth to docks and to the many like bars and speakeasies and brothels and stuff that were now popping up because everybody loves their
Across those whole 2.1 miles.
Well, it boomed real quick. To more,
Like,
to
it's
more.
basically all debauchery. Like, we don't
that's
have
it.
room for anything else.
Yeah, it's
the
just-
red light district is the whole city.
Yeah, it's just the city is red. City of Roses.
That's what the roses means.
We figured it
It's
out.
referring to the red light district. I'm gonna ask.
Yeah,
ChatGPT.
ask ChatGPT. They'll tell you it's true. So to like try and make it easier and quicker, this blows my mind that this was an option. They're like, I imagine it's because it's Oregon and it's always rainy, so there's probably a lot of mud and their goods are getting wet and muddy and gross. And so they're like, I know how to solve this. We'll build a complex series of tunnels going from each of these establishments to the dock. So underneath these speakeasies and brothels and bars and stuff, there are tunnels that you can access and, take the goods to the dock. That was the game plan. And so it was used for that purpose, but there quickly became another need that the Portlanders, the establishment owners realized they could fulfill. So some of these people that were coming to the port obviously were very involved in the opium drug trade and all that kind of stuff. And the problem is they needed people to work on their ships, and the sailing, back and forth between China to get these high quality drugs and whatever else to bring it back. Not everybody wanted to work on those ships.
Are they kidnapping people?
Yeah. I just lost my place because I got so into it. Okay, yeah. So anyways, there's like they have these trap doors that are built into these systems that function still, like you can find them still. So to fill this sailor's need, what they would do is they would get drunk, unsuspecting sailors, loggers, whomever was already like acquainted with sailing, and that would maybe, people wouldn't miss if they were gone because they're sort of vagrant anyways, and they would take them. So this at this point it was sort of dealer's choice on how they handled it. But they would abduct these men, and sometimes, because it wasn't exclusively two men, they would abduct women as well. But although some of the women they would just like take off the streets because they're a little easier to steal, I guess. But they would utilize these tunnels to kidnap and then sell the people. So in these establishments, and they were known as like getting shanghaied. And that's why they're called the Shanghai Tunnels, because they would abduct these people and then sell them to the shipping, like the captain, and force them into service. So like slave labor on the ship to go run to Shanghai to get more drugs and come back.
It's got dark real fast.
Super fast. So the way that they did it was sort of dealer's choice. So the system was they would, find their mark, because everybody is visiting these dens of iniquity. And so they would find their mark. They would, the person would become inebriated, and then the establishment owner could like drug them additionally to really knock them out. Or maybe they were just drunk enough and that was the thing. And then they dropped them through the trapdoors that they had installed. And then from here, there was a couple different options. So in some places, they would put like broken glass on the floors, and then they would take the men's shoes so they couldn't leave. Otherwise, they'd cut their feet all up. And then in other places, there are like just small cells that have like, like prison cells with bars. Or like a barred room. So you could like lock them in these small rooms, and they had these little tiny beds and stuff like that. But once they kidnapped the person and hid them in these tunnels, they could sell them to the ship captains for like $50 a head. So they were making quite a bit of money off of shanghaiing and selling these people. So then the victim would wake up on a boat like days away from any port. So they couldn't jump off the ship because they would drown. So they had, two options, like accept their slave labor or get thrown overboard. I would assume most people accepted, becoming a slave. But the good news is there were reports that people were able to escape this fate for the rest of their lives, because generally after 2 runs, they would be set free. The problem is that 2 runs took about 6 years. So as a minimum, they were stuck here for 6 years working on these boats.
So they were paying $50 to rent someone.
Yeah, for 6 years.
Without their permission.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
This is terrible.
Did they get any kind of compensation at the end of the 6 years or anything?
Not that I have seen reported. So yeah, it was that they didn't die, I guess. But that's not the only thing that the tunnels are known for that is connected with nefarious deeds. So in the 1920s and the 1930s, there was a little thing called prohibition that happened. And you know what is great for hiding a lot of illegal booze? Secret underground tunnels!
Secret tunnel.
You didn't even give us a chance to guess that.
It's because you knew. Okay, you can go ahead and guess and I'll edit it before.
No, it's okay. I don't need your pity guesses.
Maybe...
Brandon does though. It's like, I'll take the pity guess.
Yeah, sure. How about like a chest of drawers with a secret under bottom thing.
Under bottom thing?
Yeah.
They didn't keep
It's called a diaper, okay?
They didn't put the alcohol in jars. They just pour it into the
Chest of
drawers.
drawers. Oak aged.
Yeah.
Oh wait, now let me get my. I'll make my guess. Ready?
Okay, I'm ready.
Was it secret underground tunnels?
Oh my gosh. You knew right away.
I'm so good at this. Put me back as second co-host.
Oh man. Depending on how the editing goes, I'm gonna sound so stupid.
Oh man.
I just do that with no explanation. And Brandon's
Did
like,
they
I
put
think it
the-
was a chest of drawers. Oh, you dumb man.
What a rube.
He has claimed that the alcohol went in a chest of drawers, much to his chagrin.
Oh, right. So, yes, they used the tunnels to house and move their illegal spirits.
Did we talk about how big these tunnels were, how extensive yet?
No, we didn't. But I will tell you, since it's a good question. Big and expensive. They actually there are literal rooms that are fairly large. They're tall enough to walk easily, and some of the tunnel hallways, I guess, are wide enough that you could have a cart or whatever down there, and some are very
Are they still there, or did they fill in?
they're still there, yeah. And we'll talk about that in just a minute.
How do you have a factoid of how much distance is in there? There's 5 miles of tunnels.
I don't have a factoid about that. I do know that a large portion of the tunnels are not accessible anymore, because you could die.
Until we do our...
Deep dive.
Yeah, we need to get a
We'll
special
make them
permit.
accessible.
Yeah.
We'll be we're with Arts and Crimes.
Perhaps you've heard of us. artsandcrimes.com
Yeah.
/ permit for this.
This just is a piece of paper that says I can do what I want. Yes. So no, I don't know the exact amount. But there are active tours that you can take in Portland to go to the Shanghai Tunnels. And they do have the establishments that still have the trapdoors available. So you can go down.
Can you
we literally
ride
can
a
go.
trapdoor down?
I don't know if they allow that or not. But you can do the tours, which
With
is why we
authentic
should go.
glass on the floor.
And then he takes your shoes. He's like, "You're gonna have the authentic experience." And then you wake up on a boat a few days
6 years later, it was worth it. Great experience.
yeah.
I'm gonna blog about this.
Yeah, that's your week check-in when you get back. So
Yeah, you may have noticed I was gone for the last 6 years.
anyways,
I got Shanghai.
yeah. Thank you for clarifying. Anyways, so during the Prohibition time, they basically moved all of that sort of seedy, illegal stuff just into the Shanghai Tunnels. So they had active bars and speakeasies and brothels all underground, so that the police wouldn't catch them. And it became very run by gangs and mobs. It was a very dangerous thing, obviously. In a documentary I watched, it said that there was a police raid on one of the tunnels, on one of the mobs that were operating it. And so the mob retreated into the tunnels. But as I said, to answer your question, some of the tunnels get pretty narrow. Mm-hmm. And so all of the mobsters were kind of bottlenecked into one place, and the police just killed them all. So there's that. However, I was very skeptical of how accurate this documentary was, because he pronounced Oregon as Oregon.
Oh. Lost credibility
and
right
so I was
there.
And he said the Willamette.
Yeah. And so I was like, I better double check, because I've never heard of this. And it feels like that's such a significant thing that it would be part of lore if I heard
The
it.
shooting and rounding up of a mob.
Of an entire mob
Okay.
thing down in this tunnel. So I went and I read spent so long reading the front page of the Oregonian, which is a real newspaper, and that's what people from Oregon call themselves is Oregonians.
Mm-hmm.
I told my
That's true.
coworkers. Told my coworkers that once, and they did not believe me.
Really?
Yeah, they were like, "That's a crazy, crazy word." And I was
What?
like, "It's
How is that
Oregonian."
crazy? Like
don't know.
Californian?
I don't know, or maybe it just sounded weird.
You know what's crazy? Florida. What they call themselves?
Floridians?
Floridians. That sound like freaking aliens. Like,
We discovered something you have strong feelings about.
first time I heard that, I thought somebody was like
Making it up.
like teasing me.
Yeah.
They're like, they're Floridians. I'm like, are they from Sector 12 of the Galaxy Nebula? Like,
And they're like, no, they're from Florida.
Which is kind of the same. Like any story that starts with a Florida man, you just like know it's gonna be insane.
Maybe it's because Utah has the worst one. Utah.
Utah, yeah,
It's a dumb one.
yeah, it's not great.
It's got no flair.
No.
Oregonian.
It's
It rolls off the
Yeah.
tongue.
no, I think
It's beautiful.
before I knew it was Utahn, I think I tried to make it like Utonian or something.
but that's also sounds like an element you found.
It does. Much like unobtainium.
That's stupid.
Such a
I
real
hate
sounding.
it so much, and don't get me started on how much I hate that movie.
How much-
Because it's so hard to obtain. And you're like, why would it be so hard to obtain? Look at all
If
the
they had-
technology they have.
All they had to do was rename it.
And the general,
As easily obtainable.
the general is walking around with a chunk of it. And if it is so hard to obtain, why does this one random guy have such a big chunk of it?
It's a good. They should just
Yeah.
sell that chunk.
Yeah.
Okay, so I was
How
at
did
a
he
movie,
obtain it?
Fantastic Four: First Steps. Don't tell me how it ends. I had to leave halfway through. But they had a preview for Avatar, and I was like, I hate that Avatar is the highest selling series of all time. Like that, this is going to be synonymous with like our era.
I hate it.
People will be like, it was the Avatar era of show business when Avatar made more money and it was the greatest film. And I'm just like, I don't want to be known for Avatar, man.
Yeah, it's
In the
atrocious.
history books.
Yeah.
The first one is just a retelling of Pocahontas.
That's a
Or
retelling of
Ferngully.
Ferngully. Yes.
Oh.
That's my cultural reference
Yeah.
point.
Ferngully.
Yeah, that's even better.
You know what the best thing about Ferngully is?
Robin Williams.
The bad guy.
Tim Curry.
Tim freaking Curry.
Is he the Glorpy guy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He is pretty great.
Nexus.
What is it? Oh, Nexus. That I was
Yeah.
I couldn't
That show
remember.
gave me nightmares as a kid.
I think that was my turning point to liking horrible people.
You were like, that Nexus
I was
guy
like,
is
my
pretty
favorite part of
attractive.
this film is Nexus. So it's the best part of the movie.
Oh, for me, it was my least favorite part. That was
Well,
uncomfortable
I love the whole
watching that.
I love the whole thing.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Pouring down like egg chow mein.
What a weird line.
Such a good line.
I just can't believe that's a lyric in a movie.
And that it was my favorite part. Well, speaking of my favorite parts, I read a lot of newspaper.
Okay.
Like,
Right, the
front
Oregonians.
pages.
All the way back to the Oregonian.
Yeah, all the way
yes,
back to
yes.
the Oregon. And so I wrote down my top 4. But I want you to understand
Top 4 like headlines.
Headlines. Okay.
Not having to do with the Shanghai Tunnel.
not having to
just
do with
in
Shanghai
general.
Tunnels. These are just my top 4, and it was all from the same front page.
Okay, wait.
So
What was the
this is
time frame?
1920.
So that 1 year
That 1 year.
you read through.
Well, I mean, I was reading through from 1920 to 1933 because that was
Okay.
like the prohibition period.
I feel like you probably did more research than the guy that didn't know how to pronounce Oregon.
Well, yeah, I did. And I'll tell you what fruits were born from
So
this research.
did you watch, was this like a YouTube quote unquote documentary?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I
watched
feel like it's
a
lowered
lot
the
of those.
barrier for
Yeah.
documentaries
It really has.
to the detriment of our general
Also,
knowledge.
I feel like I have to clarify that, at least maybe for my students, that when I hear information, I have to make sure that I can find it at least 3 credible locations other than where I find it. So if I watch a YouTube documentary and I hear something like I heard in this one, I go,
Interesting.
I gotta double check that this is real, because sometimes it isn't.
Yeah.
But anyways, here's the fun things that I saw in this one newspaper day. It's same day, same thing. And I was like, it was Wilden back there. But this was actually the Oregonian, I think. So first one, wives slain, men held. That's the name of this one. And it's apparently two men 10 miles apart in a almost simultaneous timeline murdered their wives and then were both caught.
And they just were like, clump them together.
Yes, but they put them together.
They don't deserve their own.
It was literally 2 paragraphs. I was like, that feels like it needs more. But there we go. The next one was murder suspect held. So a man in Philadelphia that killed another man 2 weeks prior in his apartment was being held because he was arrested in a Portland hotel that day.
Interesting.
And so he ran to Portland and did not get away. The next one, this one might be my favorite. Greed causes arrest. So here it is. And this is the headline. I tried to include exactly what they said. Lad of 10 accuses companion 12 of holding out some spoils. So this is the breakdown.
Slow news day.
A policeman overheard George Smith, the 10-year-old, accusing his companion, Harry Prendergast, which is such a great name. That's why I included it. And that's the 12-year-old of holding out on him on the division of spoils from their housebreaking. So the policeman took them into custody and searched them. And George, the 10-year-old, had $4.15 on his person. And Henry, who was accused of holding out, had $2.92 and a revolver and 2 boxes of cartridges.
What?
Wow.
A
The 12-year-old?
Where did he put 2 boxes of cartridges?
I mean,
Backpack?
big pants,
It was
I guess.
a big hoodie, probably.
Yeah.
Those criminals are always wearing.
Hooligans.
That's why they call them hoodlums.
That's not facts.
We talked about this way back, the very first episode, about how much easier it was to do crime. Way back in the day.
Yeah.
Oh my god! And I can't believe that they're just talking about that as a police officer is walking by, and his whole investigation was, I'll stop and listen to these children.
Yeah, and that's what it was. And it made the news. And this one was this one had the longest amount of information because it was Wilden, and it does include murder, so prepare yourself. Man kills wife to keep her love. That's what it was, which caught my eye.
Yeah, why wouldn't that?
Yeah. First of all, what does that mean?
She was cheating on him with
Josh,
somebody
you're
else.
so good.
Yeah.
Okay, here's the story. So it starts out telling us that he survived the war and came back from England and married this woman that also survived the war.
The Great War.
The Great War. Only for him to shoot her 4 times. So she lived long enough to tell a witness with her dying, I'm using quotations, with her dying gasp that it was her husband that did it. And then he was immediately apprehended because,
Yeah.
they know who did it. And he explained, so he immediately confessed once he got apprehended. So he explained that he had got laid off work the previous day. And so instead of telling his wife, he decided that he would hire a cab and follow her because he suspected her of being unfaithful. So he followed her to a noodle shop where he saw her eating with 2 other women and a man, to which he barged in and forced her to accompany him into his cab that he had hired. And then they drove to 14th Street where he got out of the cab and turned to pay the cabbie. And when he turned back around, she was running away. And so he caught up with her and then threw her to the ground and shot her 4 times. And then took off, and the police caught him. And he told the police his reasoning was he had warned her to cease her bad tricks and told her what would happen if she did not desist.
He gave her a warning.
That's so nuts. Josh just glared at Brandon.
But he caught her
Eating
With 2 other women.
with 2 other women and a
man.
dude.
Yeah.
So it wasn't even like he barged in and she was doing the deed.
Yeah, no.
She was just
At a
having
noodle
lunch
shop.
with somebody.
Listeners, the deed is...
Yeah, I was like, she was...
He was like, how dare you have lunch without me?
Yeah, he was like, you are canoodling.
Yes. What's all this noodle eating you're doing?
Oh, man.
Do you know what a noodle is? Crap.
That was,
I was gonna say,
that was a
you'll
good
get
one.
there. You'll get there.
Innuendo was the word that was stuck in... not coming out. Anyway.
Kid not coming out? Yeah.
Anyway, so
Okay.
that was all on the same newspaper front page. Wild. But
Wait, all four of
all
those?
four of those, same newspaper.
Were in the same newspaper?
Same front page.
Okay.
Yeah. But I digress. The point was that I found zero evidence. I looked through police records, I looked through articles, I looked through a bunch of stuff for a very long time, and I could find no record of any kind of mob bust that existed within the Shanghai Tunnels.
Also, you'd think if the cops were like knew about one Shanghai tunnel, they would be like, let's just go through all of them
And find all of
and
the
clean
stuff.
them out.
Yeah, you'd think. So I don't think that actually happened, but they did definitely use it for like all of their bootleg alcohol.
Yeah. Or their
Moonshine.
Or the Shanghai.
Bureau.
Right.
Yeah. So,
Kidnapping opium people.
all right, here is the third thing the Shanghai Tunnels are known for. Would you like to make a guess? Because you've
Ooh,
already...
Now you're getting to guess.
Yeah, because you've already kind of touched on it a little bit.
Sasquatch.
No, but that's such a good guess.
That's how he gets in and out of the city. When he needs a haircut.
Yeah. It's his chest of drawers full of alcohol down there.
I've already touched upon it.
When you went, ooh.
Ghosts.
Ghosts and goblins?
It's haunted.
It's
Spookiness?
haunted.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't it be?
It is reported as one of the most haunted places in the world.
In the world?
Well, it says, on the site, it said, on this planet.
Dang.
Same thing as world, I assume.
Yeah.
But
Definitely.
planet sounds so severe.
How is that measured?
Well, I think it's measured by hubris. Because I think all of the really haunted places say they're the most haunted in the world.
That's true, I suppose.
So that's what I think. But it is, they say it's the most haunted location in the world. So you can do tours there.
Mm-hmm.
Actively still. Excuse me, sorry.
Do they do late night ghost tours?
Yeah, they do. You can sign up for tours, and they have the like different bars. And like I think one of them is a pizza joint right now that has the trap doors and stuff. But there's like a street access that you can go to. It was shut down for a little bit during COVID, and it used to be run by like a nonprofit place, but now a different group has taken over, and they're for profit. So I think you have to pay now.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you just donated previously. I have never actually done the Shanghai tours, but I double checked that they are now operational in Portland. So, but I wrote down what some of the most common things that people have reported experiencing within the tunnels. So number one, goosebumps, real common one.
I love that someone's in a drafty, like,
Cold,
underground
dank tunnel.
and they're like, it's real spooky in here. I'm getting goosebumps, guys. Put on a jacket, man.
So number two, as if someone is watching them from the shadows.
Makes sense.
The most
The
haunted place in the
shadows.
planet.
Yeah. It gets more. There's more. Don't you worry. There's reports of an Asian man walking past them.
Is that because they don't understand where the name Shanghai comes from?
Yeah, probably. They have named this man Sam. The visitors have. He's reported as being responsible for turning off lights in any of the bar basements.
Just to save electricity.
He's
He's
really
conscientious.
very conscientious. Yeah. He also likes to move things around in tunnels as people walk by.
It's Sam.
People have also reported being able to hear the name Sam being called out while in the tunnels.
By other people who are touring the tunnels. Sam, come out. And down there someone's going, I just heard Sam. He was calling his own name.
Which I thought the same thing
And
of
telling himself to come out.
I don't call for myself. But there you go. Others have reported hearing or like seeing quick movements of shadows.
The shadow knows.
Then there's people say that there's a feeling of ghostly fingers on their shoulders when no one is around. The most nefarious. Well, Sam has been reported as being a fairly friendly ghost, and
He is interested in saving the environment after all.
really, he's a very much an Oregonian.
Yeah.
There have been reports of other ghosts that do things that aren't so nice, like tugging on the tails of your shirt or your hair. And one person even said that she felt a tug before she tripped and blamed tripping on the ghost. And I was like, likely story.
Yeah.
Some people also reported a distinct feeling of being unwelcome or like something was watching them. So that's another one. And then the last one was one man reported hearing sounds like a small child whistling moments before he was thrown to the ground. But when he turned to see who it was, there was nobody there.
It was that 10 and 12-year-old kid.
Yeah.
They're still out there causing trouble.
Yeah.
George and Harry.
Yep.
They're ghosts.
But yeah. So those are kind of the three things that the tunnels are known for. Here are the disclaimers, or like the second half, that I would be remiss if I did not explain.
Okay, also, hold on.
Yeah.
When you're doing a survey of ghostly apparitions or whatever, like, I love that one person saying something, they're like, write that down. That's a good one.
Yeah.
Like, if you were doing a medical trial and somebody was taking medicine and they said, oh yeah, I took this medicine and my toenail exploded or something, like they said something insane, they would be like, okay, great. Has anyone else had that same issue? And everyone would go, no, my toenails are all fine. And they go, great.
You're an outlier.
That's not the thing.
Yeah, that's not related.
So it's weird that, like, I know that this is because this is not like a scientific endeavor, but a lot of ghost hunters kind of cloak themselves in this shroud of science. Pseudoscience, right? Yeah. And it's like the most basic part of science is like, hey, ask more than one person. And they're like, that's the one part we don't believe in.
Or it has to be like repeatable.
Yeah. If one person says it, it's 100% true. That's ghost hunting rule 101.
Yeah. Did you go to ghost hunting college? I didn't think so.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah, in tandem with that, there is no actual evidence that the tunnels were ever used for Shanghai.
Really? Why do you keep doing these mysteries and then you're like, but also there was no mystery? That's the big twist.
It is, however, so I've got some things. I thought you guys would love that surprise ending. There are a couple things that I want to go over, though. So it is an oral history that has been passed down since, forever, since Portland's been around. So that is something to note, right? But here are the facts as we can lay them out as succinctly as I can. Number one, there are definitely tunnels. We know that. Number two, there are no tunnels currently found that actually lead directly to the docks. However,
where do they go?
They're not 100% sure, but they are interconnected between the
So they
brothels.
go between houses in the city.
Yeah.
Just nothing runs straight out to the docks.
That they found. However, a very large portion of the tunnels are not accessible, so we don't know where those tunnels go. So it could just be that we don't have access to the tunnels that go to the docks. Number three, there are definitely trapdoors that access the tunnels from the buildings above. So that's facts. Number four, there are small rooms and cells that can still be seen in the tunnel. Number five, there are still places where you can see the broken glass that's embedded in the floor and places that have deposits of old shoes in it, from that time frame. So those are the facts that we know. And it was also confirmed that it was definitely used for storing goods, moving goods, housing immigrant workers. It was used as opium dens, and it was used during the Prohibition. So that stuff we do know actually happened in there. So the only one up for debate is the actual Shanghaiing.
Yeah, we're not debating the ghostliness of it.
Yeah, that one is 100% true because one person told us.
Yeah, that's not up for debate. Here's my thoughts, and then you guys can tell me yours. Even though we don't have that evidence, we do have that oral history. And as we discussed in our very last episode about Roanoke, there should be some merit to oral history, because that whole time the oral history was that the Roanokeans went to the Croatoans and had been living there, and we thought they were lost, and then they found DNA evidence to show that the Roanokeans were actually with the Croatoans. So there should be some merit given to some oral histories. Also, in my thoughts, if these tunnels are being used or were being used as like, you know, opium dens and for like moving illegal goods and, you know, as these speakeasies and all this other kind of stuff for many years after what we've said is the Shanghai Tunnels, the whole point of doing crime is to get away with something and not get caught that you shouldn't be doing. So, you know, not only would that evidence, they wouldn't be wanting to leave evidence, but it's also getting very contaminated by the nefarious deeds that are coming after it in those same tunnels. So maybe some of the evidence is either not findable because it was destroyed or corrupted, or integrated into the other nefarious deeds that have been happening. Like maybe it was the people that put the glass in and stole the shoes so they could Shanghai people, but then it was just conveniently used for other reasons afterwards. So that is just my thoughts on that. But after hearing everything, especially because you haven't, like, I grew up with like hearing about these tunnels. I don't know how it never came up for you guys, but like I fully was like, this for sure happened. And then doing research, I was like, how dare they tell me it maybe didn't happen? But what do you guys think?
So I'm inclined to say that, like you said, there's a oral history. There's something to an oral history often, but it's also often exaggerated. So where there are these brothels and opium dens and things like that, it makes sense to me that probably some people got shanghaied.
Yeah.
However, it probably wasn't commonplace practice because those places want to have repeat customers. They don't want to just Shanghai and get $50 for, you know, yeah, right? Because you'll run out of people. Kind of like...
they got to be like H.H. Holmes about it. Like...
Who's H.H. Holmes?
What? Oh my gosh.
He was a serial killer.
He's America's first serial killer.
Oh, man.
He had the murder castle. Look, it's too diabolical, but I will make you watch a documentary with me about it.
Okay.
It's too diabolical for this.
For this pod. Yeah, because it's a real downer.
That's been 3 weeks talking about witch trials, or 2 weeks.
It's worse than the witch trials?
Yeah. I think it's... Okay, not as many people died. But he was pretty horrific.
There's more facts, more gruesome details.
Here's the thing, the connection I'm making, right?
Okay.
So he built a hotel that was near fairgrounds so that people would come to his hotel. And every now and again, because he built the hotel in secret, so it has like secret tunnels in the walls, it has trapdoors in rooms, it has like vents that have gas that he could vent into rooms. And he would build part of the castle, and then he would fire all the architects and hire a whole new team, and they would build the next part of the castle so that nobody would actually know the actual blueprint of it. And then people would come and stay at his murder castle, and every now and again...
It wasn't called the murder castle. Yeah. That's not how he advertised.
Yeah, it was called something different at the time. But it was
called like the really nice, comfortable
You're
castle.
for sure going home after this. Yeah. Every now and again, he would just murder somebody that he knew didn't have connections in the area, that was like there for the fair. And then he would, you know, trapdoor them down to his basement where he would like take off all of their skin and flesh and stuff and then sell their bones to medical students to make money.
Cool.
So.
So how does that factor into your whole Sasquatch theory?
You have to be judicious about who you take.
Yeah. Yeah. I think it probably wasn't rampant, but it probably did happen some. And that's got, you know, it going or whatever, or, you know, or something that wives told their husbands, you better not be going to the brothel. You'll get shanghaied. The tunnels. I don't know. I don't know, but I don't see a reason to say that it didn't happen.
Yeah.
Okay. Is it my turn?
Yeah. Yeah, go for it.
Listen, I'm going to come down. You know what's funny is I was going to be like, I'm going to be opposite Brandon, and then you basically came around to my point. So I'm like, oh, I guess I'm agreeing with Brandon. It removes all of the drama from this.
Oh, no.
Because we were going to have a knockdown, drag-out fight about it.
What did you think I was going to say?
Well, because you were saying like, oh, it was maybe there, but probably over, embellished. Okay. But maybe people used it as a like, oh, don't go to the brothels or you'll get shanghaied / syphilis.
Okay, so that's what I said. What did you think I was going to say, though?
Oh, no. Well, you started by saying it was happening, and I'm saying probably didn't happen. This is my contention.
Okay.
That, like, you never think about how easy it was for people to disappear, like, back in the day, right? Whereas now, like, everything is documented, and people have phones and Instagram, and there's CCTV or whatever.
It's a lot harder to disappear.
Yeah, it's a lot harder. I still love Dashiell Hammett, who was an author back in the day. He has this story about a guy who has a near-death experience, and then he moves like 15 miles away and starts his life over. He was like married with children, and he was like, I hate my life. And so he moves to a different place and also just gets married and has children again. And it's like oh, I guess he didn't hate his life that much. But the fact that you could just move an hour away and no one would know you or know where you went, like, I think it's much more likely that, like, people disappeared.
And that's how they explained it?
And, yeah, someone was desperate for an explanation. And they're just like, it's probably... So, like, somebody goes into a bar, and they know that their criminals work there, and they see a tunnel that goes down, and they go, I bet it was criminals. They took him and sold him to China, or whatever,
Yeah.
He got shanghaied. And I would guess that if it happened extremely few times.
Yeah.
And that it was more just like, here's some criminals, here's a bunch of people disappearing, and here's some people kind of connecting the two. Right? Yeah. That's my theory.
I think the only reason why I give any credence to this is the fact that you said there's opium dens. Mm-hmm. So if there's opium dens, there's probably people who would be very easy to kidnap, and there
control.
Definitely is a supplier who goes to China to get stuff. So, like, grabbing somebody and putting them on their boat isn't a huge deal, and these people aren't compensated. But as long as you keep providing a little bit of the goods, they get a little taste. Then
with their beak a little.
Then they probably would continue to do the work.
Plus, opium addicts are known to be really good sailors.
Yeah. It does something in your brain chemistry.
ChatGPT is like, wow, you've really peeled back. Yeah, so anyways, I kind of, that's kind of what I was saying,
Well, it's funny we all just kind of came to the same conclusion.
Yeah. We all agree on this one. But there's the Portland, Oregon, Shanghai Tunnels. And all the factoids I could find in a week. Which I admittedly spent a lot more time than I probably should have during that week looking at newspaper articles. They wrote and spoke so differently in the 1920s. It was very entertaining. I couldn't help myself.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. It was very fun.
That is kind of fun.
And I'm not even interested in reading the newspaper now.
I kind of miss the idea of a local newspaper. Mm-hmm. Like, that's something that's disappeared, right?
Yeah, for sure.
And, like, having a hyper-local group of people. Like, we grew up in a really small town that had its own newspaper.
Yeah.
Which is crazy. Like, we now live in a city that's 4 times bigger than the town we grew up in. Mm-hmm. And there's no city paper here, right?
No, for sure not.
So we should do that. We should open our own, and then we'll just go around and listen to children and report on.
I'm sure they've all got revolvers and
10-year-old said this other person, but it would suck now. It would be like all Instagram,
yeah,
like drama or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
What we'll do is we'll just find the good papers from the 1920s and republish them
as if they were happening.
Yeah, they'll be like, "What the wild?" So yeah, there we go. Anyways, now you can, tour the Shanghai Tunnels if you want, or you can just ask us questions on artsandcrimes.com and we'll answer those. So yeah, thanks for stopping by. Thanks for listening. Art's involved in this one for sure.
Yeah.
It's there. So, go do some art. Don't do any crimes. Don't Shanghai anybody. Don't put liquor in a chest of drawers. Bye.
Bye.
So long. And I'll give a couple reaction shots for you. Ready? Okay, here's the first reaction. Here's the second reaction. I'm
Same for all the listeners.
doing all silent reactions, so it's super helpful for our listeners.